on my computer. It's recorded now. And I would like to start formally by thanking you for accepting my invitation to have this conversation. It's informal, it's our first meeting, introduction meeting, and it's a part of our efforts to find out more about clubs in other European countries. Our club, which is called Successful Business Leaders Club, is new. We started January this year, so having in mind all these COVID restrictions, we didn't do much, but I would like to build a ground to have a very good network by the time when the traveling will be allowed and we can see each other in person. We will already know about each other a lot, and we will already know how our club members can benefit of the fact that you and me, we know each other. So my name is Natalia Kardash. I am publisher of a Russian newspaper and a magazine in Cyprus. In Cyprus, there is a quite big Russian community. Some people, they are in business because Cyprus was always very useful for the Russian-speaking world as a place to have an international business. And other people, they just live in Cyprus because of weather conditions and because of hospitality of Cypriots that are very welcoming any foreigners. So in addition to that, I'm vice president of Association of Russian-speaking Residents of Cyprus. So it's an NGO that's supporting the community. But because among the publications that my publishing house have, we have a business magazine. So we had an idea that we need to establish a small one, a private business club for business owners of different nationalities. And this is a meaning. In Cyprus, we have very international business community. So I invited to this club people whom I knew in person from different industries. And this is actually the club of business owners or CEOs. If the company has several owners or it's a big bank or big establishment, we invite CEO. So that's shortly about us. And now I would like to give you the floor, and just shortly, as I did within 5 minutes, could you please tell about your club, about your members, and what is really interesting and important? How do you manage with all these unusual circumstances when you cannot make big gatherings, when you cannot meet your members face to face? How you still manage your communication with them, and what is really important to me, how you manage communication between them? Not only you and them, but they to communicate. So I would suggest to be innovative. Usually they say ladies first, but we have one gentleman among, the ladies crowd. So Georg, the floor is yours.
So I should start, yeah? Okay, Munich Diamond Business Club. I found this club 10 years ago. Generally, I am a general manager of an electronic group, yeah, and but work hard, yeah, but I want to live also, and for this reason, 40 years ago, I started to make ball festival dancing parties, yeah. So, yeah, I start with this, yeah. First, as I was a student, I organized the students' dancing parties, and now we make the biggest one in Munich. We are in the Hotel Bayerischer Hof, it's a 5-star hotel. So we make the medical ball with 800 people. Yeah, we make 2 balls, one in November, which is for golf. Yeah, and in February Carnival time we make the Mediziner ball. That's really where the people go, the lady well dressed. Yeah. We make big show. You must understand, if you make such ball in the Hotel Bayerischer Hof, they want also to have that they only good customer goes in, yeah, to the ball. So, and I get this Rosenmontag, what we call. This is the last day before Carnival end, yeah. So this, and we have also a Stammtisch. I don't know now the word for Stammtisch. Every month we may have a meeting in the Bayerischer Hof. Not yet with the Corona. and people around 80 people coming together. We're speaking what make you do, and we are in Xing. Yeah, it's like Facebook or LinkedIn. Xing, we are 6,000 members. Yeah, in Facebook around 2,000. So we working, meeting, yeah, and enjoy also the life. I think we work hard, and most important is also, yeah,
6,000, yeah,
to
6,000
live, yeah.
members. That impressive on the LinkedIn 2,000 and Facebook. But what and the events for 800 people? That's
Yeah,
great.
that's really
Yeah.
great.
And do you have a membership fee? Do they somehow complete the
We have
membership?
membership fee also if we have a website with Munich diamonds.com,
Uh-huh.
and so the basic is free of charge, yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then we have different standard levels. So you pay 50 euro per month,
Mhm.
and one for companies who want supporting us, you pay 1,500 euro per year,
Uh-huh.
and they get also at the bar they can make big advertising promotion. Yeah, that's really a key point. And what we do networking and we promote customers. Yeah, I think this is a key point to find. Let's say a company opens a new company and they need people. Yeah, so we invite the people to come over, and then we make a small party. Yeah, so we come for other side from the business. Yeah, so relax. Yeah, living. That's a key point. Yeah, and this was the people like it. Yeah.
And the members of your club, they are mainly business people, correct?
No,
No.
business or people who work. Yeah, as you know,
Okay. All right.
you have also people on the high level. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, they need also a platform for communication. This is what we're doing. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Georg.
that
It's
is,
interesting, and especially this refers 40 years ago, you make a ball festival, and then you
yeah,
continue all these
and
years. So it grew up this medical ball, golf ball. Impressive.
yeah, it's great. I am in Facebook. If you look on the pictures, yeah,
You're also dancing all these years.
yeah, dancing,
Oh.
yeah, living. Yeah, I think this is important. I was running 5 different companies, yeah, and so the ball was really for relaxing, have fun, yeah, meeting the people, and then to speak. I think most important on the business side, you meet the other people from the other company. You never met him, his wife, or his boy, yeah. So I think this is the connections. I think to integrate, yeah, not only people to business by the ball, they bring the husband or friends to the ball. So it's really different, and this is growing really the networking. Yeah, so we are really in Munich, one of the biggest one. Yeah, and seeing Munich Diamonds, I will later on. I can write in the chat
Mhm.
our website and so on,
Yes,
and
right.
then
It
you
we
can
will
have
visit
it.
it with pleasure, just
Yeah,
to see how it goes. But it was,
yeah.
yeah, it was interesting to hear. Thank you,
So
Georg.
good.
Okay,
Okay.
so we will have in the chat now the address of the website of Mr. Schmidt,
Yeah,
and then after the after our meeting, we can visit it and see how it
yeah.
is. Ivana, you are on my screen. How I see people, you are just on the top. So the floor is yours. Tell us, you are in Austria, but you are expat. You are from Serbia, I think. Yes,
Yes,
actually. Okay,
I'm
so
originally from Serbia. I was raised in England, Oxford, Cambridge, Brighton, London. Then I moved to Austria, to Vienna. And I was based in Vienna most of the time. And now I'm between Serbia, Greece, and Austria.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about the club. It's written that it's exclusive business club.
I am
C
Sisi.
MCC, exclusive business club. What is it about?
Okay, well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself so you get the idea how I got to the club. I've been involved in various international organizations for over 15 years, actually more like 20 years. A lot of them are charity organizations, and they are very wide. And we have ambassadors all over the world. Sorry. Yes. So I'm also the right hand of the royal family of Habsburg Lothringen, which is a royal Austrian family. And we have the Flame of Peace ambassadors everywhere. Then I'm also the head or grand prior of Order of St. Stanislaus for Serbia. So what I was doing is like, I was always the connector. I was always kind of connecting people. And then I started organizing congresses where I was bringing together projects with investors. So I had, in Austria, I had European Blockchain Investment Congress. So I was scrolling through interesting projects, and I was finding investors for them and putting them together. And then I decided to kind of, instead of just having congresses and having it open, have it a close group of people that work between each other. Because I realized that a big point and a big issue while doing business is the trust. So whom do we trust? And since I'm not doing it in one country, but I do it nationally. So I'll give you an example. There is a massive project in Serbia here where they're looking for factories, like to build factories with different companies from all over the world. And they come to me and say, okay, whom do you know from abroad? And on the other side, I know people from abroad that would like to invest, but they don't have the courage to invest in particular countries because they don't have the connections there. And this is how they come to me. And this is where I recommend them what they should do, whom they should contact and stuff like that.
Who are the members of this club that you established, and what are the rules? What are the terms of membership there?
Yeah, well, the members, actually at the moment, we only have CEOs and founders because we came to the conclusion that they are the ones who can make business decisions. Everyone else can replace. So if I make an agreement with one of the employers or employees, he might not be there in a year, right? And this is the person we communicate with. This is the reason why at the moment we only have the founders, the directors, if they are co-founders, but basically, you know, the decision makers. Yes. So this situation makes it quite difficult to meet.
Yes. So what do you do this year? I mean, how do you manage to keep the activities? You mentioned the event. Obviously, the events are not possible. What do you do?
Yeah. Yes. So, for example, we used to have joint events. Like last year, we had an event together with royal family, where the Prince of Monaco was there and 20 royal families. So you make all these connections. So we have gala as well as a business club meeting. And that's not possible at the moment. So what I have to do, my members, they expect results, right? Like I'm a member of the business club because I want to connect. And I expect you to connect me to the right person. So I actually have to study every single project. In order for me to put the puzzle together, I need to know everything about them, which makes it more difficult for me. And yeah, then I started putting ambassadors. So we have responsible people for each country. So that people must guarantee for them, because I cannot go through everyone, and I cannot check everyone. Okay, are they good people? You know, are they doing a good business? Are they honest people? Honesty is, of course, the point we're going for. This is why we go through a recommendation. So they have to be recommended through someone. And that person must have had an experience doing business with a particular person.
How many members of your club do you have now?
But we actually, if I say only business club members, because I started doing it like a year and a half ago, we are like around 50. But our network is open. Like if we need a connection, and I know we have it in one of the other organizations I'm the head of, then I connect them with them as well.
All right. Yes. That network is very important. All right. Thank you, Ivana, for sharing with us this. And as I understand, now you work in a very important field, because blockchain is a future. Yes. So if we want it or not, many technologies and many businesses will have more and more being involved into the blockchain technologies in all the fields.
Yeah.
So I wish you all the success to continue this type of fora and conferences to bring people together when the situation allows. Now at least we can have it electronically, and
Now
now
we can help each other.
yeah, yes, we will see. This meeting is an introduction meeting. I do not expect much of this meeting. I mean, we are not going to have business projects from now, but I believe it's very important to hear what every one of us does to digest this information and then to have a second meeting or email each other and to have some suggestions. And I would like to hear from Diana, Lithuania. The Baltic countries are known as a very dynamic country. So your neighbor Estonia is considered in the European Union as the best digital example of how the electronic government should work. What about Lithuania? What about the business climate there? And tell us a little bit about your club. What do you do and how it's structured?
I am director of BNI Mammal Club. We have opened it 3.5 years ago, and now I'm also opening women-only chapter, women-only club. So it's a goal to help women to participate in BNI activities and recommend each other with a goal also to empower them, because sometimes they're saying that, you know, sometimes it's about the time, because usually BNI meetings are taking place very early in the morning. So it's about the time, because most of them are mothers, so that they would be able to plan it as well. And also, we are a organization which is international organization in 72 countries, and it's about 300,000 members worldwide. In Lithuania, we are more than 1,000 members, and also I quite actively involve in Latvian BNI and partnership with Latvian members. So there are also half of Lithuanian size of BNI members in there as well. Actually, since we are because we are international organization, the switching to electronic space was not difficult. We got ready in 1 week fully. So when the quarantine started, we just had to do everything electronically. Of course, in every club we have coordinators who are responsible for arranging the meeting, leading the meeting, presidents, vice presidents, guests, and so on. So in my chapter, it's about 40 members, and usually it's the average of the chapters. I have also tried to contact and inquire if anybody would be interested in some partnership with maybe some members in Cyprus. So, I just said that I will be participating in this discussion if I could be helpful for any of the members. So there were several members who said that they are interested in partnership in private investment, in also digital investment. So we have some members who are working with that, and they are looking for international partnerships. So if I could, I would just share your contacts with them so that they could meet with you. And I see now, and I love that due to quarantine, we have been forced to live in a different world, but with the worlds have broken down and the world has shrunk, because, you know, in 2 minutes we can connect and speak to members in Germany, in United States, anywhere in the world. The world is so small and reachable within 1 click, so it's easy.
Yes, I fully agree with you that we started to pay more attention to electronic communication, and we realized that it's not necessarily to fly somewhere. Okay, it can be replaced, not at a full time, but as a temporary solution, it can be replaced. But what is important, the new connections can be built via online communication. I agree with you. That is very
And you know, for us, one of my companies, we are working with recruitment. So, for example, for several years already, we would be doing interviews online because we're working internationally. We would be meeting clients online and visiting them maybe once or twice per year, you know, instead of like flying every several weeks or every week to there. So in this case, we were working like that. And but for some, I think it's also about sometimes generations, you know. And of course, we are saying that it's not the same as to be on Zoom, you know, like to have a person nearby. So in this case, it is different. It's true and it's normal. But on the other hand, if we learn to use and adapt, we will survive, and it would be gaining more advantage than disadvantage with this change.
Thank you,
So,
and thank you for your presentation. I'm impressed that by knowing you and through you, we can have access to 1,000 members in Lithuania. That's an impressive number. We don't know much about your country. Even myself, who was, working with the Eastern Europe a lot, I don't know much how business is like in Lithuania. So after Katerina will tell us a little bit about Malta and her club, I would suggest we also exchange the knowledge, maybe some information about the business climate in our countries for the time being. What are the challenges that are brought by coronavirus, but what are their chances? What are the new opportunities that appeared? Katerina, we would like to know about Malta, how it is, how the club works. You are from Malta Business Club, and also you are connected to Mediterranean Academy of Culture, Technology and Trade. So let's start with Business Club.
Yes, yes. So first of all, thank you a lot for this opportunity. And yes, we as club, we are a little bit like yours, Natalia, because we are new with the section of the club. It is directly linked to Malta Business, that is an European trademark registered, that is a network of professionals that help a business that want to develop, organize, and their business in Malta. And in these activities that we follow, we decided to open also the Malta Business Club. The aim is to bring together not only businesses, but also professionals to create the right link between them, because there are a lot of opportunities that can born also with professionals, so with single people, not only with the directors and between businesses. And the aim of the club is obviously with online methods, because with this situation, it is the only way that today we have to spread what are the business opportunities in Malta in different sectors. And to create the right link, creating, obviously organizing online event, and mainly B2B event, because it is important to meet each other, even if only with 5-10 minutes to know each other, but it is important to know the other person. The sector in the business activities in Malta more attractive and more on which Malta is more strong are different. And in the technological field, there are a lot of opportunities. In the financial field, the gaming sector, and specifically with in the technological field, so with artificial intelligence and blockchain, Malta is identified as a big opportunity to start with a business. So sure, we can be a link with the Malta country. And yes, the aim is it obviously not only to be a member, a club only of Maltese member, because the aim is to spread all the opportunities also through members and business from other European countries. The link with the Mediterranean Academy, yes, it is a Niger Educational Institute, of which I am the head of institute. It is also a new reality in the training sector here in Malta. Yes, it is in a higher educational institute that is recognized here in Malta from the National Commission. And so in that field, we are working to start with the first our trainings in different fields, but the main are trade, culture, and technology. And the technology field, it is also in the training sector one of the main on which we aim to develop training, because on the end there are a lot of businesses that are growing that field, but on the other hand there is also the necessity to spread knowledge and training in that field.
All right. Okay, thank you, Katerina. How many members this newly built club has already?
No, we are in a starting phase, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we are starting to create it, and in the next month we also will launch the website. Mm-hmm. So we are in a startup phase. Yes.
All right, that's good. Now I have a question to all of you. I would love to know. I will share the situation in Cyprus, how we feel here, and I would love to know what people in business do in your country and what are the conditions. In Cyprus, we had 2 waves of coronavirus. During the first wave, all the businesses were closed and people had to sit at home. Now, during the second wave, there are restrictions, like restaurant business, hospitality business, they are closed. Restaurants in the hotels, for example, they are open, but they are open only for hotel residents. So this type of business, including service business like hairdressing salons or beauty salons, they are closed, but not in the whole country. They are closed in those areas of Cyprus that have more cases, and they are still open in those who have less cases. So that influenced very much, of course, on the financial situation and state of Cyprus local businesses. And the government support the businesses with some amount of money. It depends how many employees you have. Half of your employees get subsidized if your activity was damaged. So you need to prove first that your turnover was reduced. For the time being, it should be reduced for 60 to 80% comparing to the last year. And if it is so, the government is paying 60% of salary to half of your employees. So you have 10 employees, 5 of them getting subsidy. That is a general situation, but the hotels, you know, Cyprus is a tourist destination. The most of the hotels are closed. In Cyprus, we have several hundreds of the hotels. And for winter this year, only 20 hotels are open. So the remaining 100 and whatever, 200 and whatever hotels, they get full subsidy for salaries of the employees, 100%. So the employees are getting money from the government. Cyprus government received this money from Europe, and slowly during the winter season will spend for hospitality industry. That is a business atmosphere here. So uncertainty, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. Some problems in different sectors, but overall we are waiting until tomorrow. It will be another announcement of the government what measures they will implement for December. So if I would describe the mood in the business community here, is uncertainty and expectations that some measures will be lifted so the business can breathe. In summer we were more or less fine, but now in autumn, it's again depression in every field. So what about your countries? Who want to say the first? What's happening there?
Yes, I can start.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yes, in Malta, fortunately, we didn't have a lockdown, not now, but also in the first wave. Because, you know, Malta is a small island, so it was simple to manage the situation. Once that they decided to close ports and airports, they stopped the flow mainly of people. And so they tried and managed all. Obviously, there were some restriction about number of people that can go out, businesses in smart working, or the commercial activities were closed, but people didn't feel the sensation to must stay at home, because you can go out, you know, for a work. For the businesses, the government did a lot, giving the supplement for the employee where the companies were closed, and it also confirmed this support for also in the budget of the 2021 that was published in this month, so it's new. And so with the new budget, from an economic point of view, the government confirmed the support for the COVID situation, but it also implemented some economic measurements for long-term activities. And there are some sectors in which it will work a lot with new investments and funds, obviously in the economical sector, but specifically in the innovation sector. In the sustainability sector, in fact, there will be 220 millions of funds for climate change, you know, projects, with the two big projects that will be led for the two main free ports that we have here in Malta for the climate change, yes, and the main you know, consequences were in the tourism sector, because when you close ports and airports, all the tourism activities are closed, also because Malta is small, so there is not a lot of internal tourism. And in fact, the government also sent to all the residents in Malta from 16 years old 100 euros of voucher to be spent between July and October. 20 euro for the retail sector, so you can use it in the shops, and the other 80 euro for hotel and restaurants. So in that way, it gave a big you know, effort to the hotel sector, and they also plan to another 100 euro voucher for all the residents, but in that case there will be 40 euro for retail and 60 for hotel. So it was a big aid that it gives, and companies thanks for it, because only in that way there will be a continuity, you know, in the economical activity. For now, there are some restrictions, so masks, you know, but the life is continuing. There are some countries there are from which people are more are tested when they arrive, so that the situation will be under control.
Thank you, Katerina, for this detailed overview. Who else want to share? What I'm really interested is the feeling and the state of business in the country. And Katerina illustrated to us that the business are operating, at least at local level, as normal, without tourists, without international communication, but locally as normal. What's happening in Lithuania?
Yes.
In Lithuania, we have a lot of people getting fired in service sector, especially with the tourism related. On the other hand, it's not that much of our economics that consists of tourism in general, as like to compare, for example, with Italy or even Cyprus, right? But we have quite a lot of help from the government. We have possibility to get some financing for decreased incomes, because the government has created the instrument of how to calculate by comparing the level of incomes this year at the same time as for last year, for example. So they are leveraging some percentage, and then they are comparing. We also get financing for salaries as well. So we do have some help. Of course, what I think in general in European Union, what would be helpful to have some reskilling, you know, upskilling and reskilling for employees, for example, for companies, like some of the companies, like in France, Danone, they have this program for employees for 2 years, where they are working, but with the same, they are changing their job skills that which they could be using for some other department. Like they have tried this in their department in Mexico, and where when they didn't have job, they reskilled them and used their services where it was needed. So I think it is very useful. Otherwise, you know, instead of getting very high unemployment, so I think it would be a good idea to help people to adjust and, you know, especially nowadays, to invest in creating artificial intelligence, digitalization, all these skills, because it would help on national and global level to work much better. And also, for example, like we have in minibus schools, it's minibus schools, they are for children. And we are teaching children how to create, you know, innovations and so on. But in reality, grown-up peoples, when they hear what children are doing, they're saying, how do you make children do that? Because we grown-ups, we are not taught to create. We are taught to be consumers, not creators. So I think it's what should be paid attention and used a possibility, opportunity to change the even strategy of the country level, on the national level.
Thank you, Diana. Georg, how Germany is dealing with this, and what successful strategy Munich has as a city to support businesses? Georg, microphone. Switch on microphone, I don't hear you. Georg, microphone, Georg, microphone, we don't hear you, Georg, we don't hear you. Switch on microphone. You need to press a button somewhere, there, find it where. Okay, no? Yes,
Oh, it's working.
now we can hear you. Tell us what's
sorry.
happening and what is the successful strategy behind?
Strategy, it's only waiting. We have really strong lockdown. As you know, only 5 different groups can meet, maximum 5 people. Then also, good. But really the problem is of the artists. They can make nothing. The reason is only 10 people can, 5 people can meet at the same time. This is really a shame. But in other hand, small companies and also the artists, they get money from the government to help them. So this the money what they get last year in December. So this value they will get also. But what does it help? If you get the money for 1 month, it's really nothing. It's really, really hard. So
what are the prospects? What do they say? What do they expect from businesses to do? How to come back to normal operations?
How to come to nobody knows this. What I see, like if you look in China, they closed for 2 months the complete business. And now we have different rules what you do then, but still, there's a lot of people who are fighting against this. We have to demonstrate with 5,000 people in Berlin. And they're very unhappy. And this is really the problem. You cannot control how many people are meeting. And this reflects also the high rate that we have here in Munich, or in Germany generally. So I don't know where it's going on. So really, I want also to make parties. Like if you look here, this is what we've done in the past.
I enjoy looking behind your back. From time to time you disappear from the screen. So we see parts of you disappearing, but behind you, there is a dancing, ball festival.
So you cannot celebrate such party. So I don't know what is going on. I think the problem is also next year. So it will be the next, if we not close completely everything like 2 months or 1 month, then the virus always coming back. That is really the problem, what I see. And I have really no answer. I'm a good shape. My electronic company is running very well. So sorry. from this side, the reason is the big companies, they're working the people, and we're in the business of communication, so you need it. Everything going faster, and you need new equipment. So people on the electronic side, they're really happy. Or like people working at Amazon, Amazon make really big business. The reason is, also there's a limitation to go in a
You're right. Not all the
shop.
businesses they feel a decrease of income or profit. Some businesses really do profit from this event. As I made a small research here in Cyprus, there are 3 categories of businesses that have more income or even more profit share than the last year. They are businesses, as Georg mentioned, in fintech and regtech, because every company needed more of programming, more of instruments for their work. And also they are forex businesses. We have a very big increase worldwide, not only in Cyprus, and IT business. Anything from hardware, software, gaming, just these games with tanks, with airplanes, or whatever. People were spending too much time at home, and they were playing. So that was a good news for them. But for the usual regular business, of course, you are right, without eliminating the virus, they will not come back to normal, and it will be again and again longer and longer. After Ivana will tell us a little bit about Austria and Serbia, I would suggest our last question for today, communication and cooperation, will be to see what we can do to facilitate, to help the business community to work, not back to normal, it does not exist, but in a new normal. Ivana, what's happening? Austria and Serbia, now you are between 2 countries.
Yes, well, Austria is very similar to Germany, as Georg just mentioned. There are no exact rules, there are constant new rules, and they're helping out businesses, but no one really knows how much and which businesses. It keeps like new updates and new news, new rules. So first children go to school, then they don't go to school. At the moment, there is a lockdown from 8 o'clock, nothing is open. So just regular, like food stores are the only open businesses at the moment. Serbia is a bit more different. This is the reason why I moved here. It's a bit more relaxed, but still very restricted. So here we can gather in smaller groups. Like now is the season of all the family gatherings. So in winter in Serbia, it's very traditional to gather at home in different homes. So we're allowed to meet 5 people all together. And yeah, there is a police everywhere that find you. So there's the only thing, if you're around without mask, or if there are too many people in the car and one forgot to get a mask, or if someone reports you that there are too many people at your home, they just come and find you. So I'm not really sure which country has better conditions. It's like I'm actually happy. I'm lucky. I used to run pubs, like Irish pub, British pub, and the Scottish pub in Vienna, and I just sold it before the coronavirus. Not that I knew about it, but I literally just sold it before that. And I'm glad that I don't have to worry, like, how am I going to pay my bills? Because we still have to have our rent paid, electricity, our employees. And I cannot imagine being easy for any of the businesses.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It doesn't matter how much help we get from the state, but it cannot replace the income that you would regularly do. So we just need to rescale, to try to be and reinvent the wheel. And
reinvent the wheel, to be innovative, to find new ways. And our today's meeting is one of all these opportunities. And for Katerina and me, who are just starting the clubs, in my club we have 24 members, and I'm very, very slowly adding 6 people per month. But I cannot organize as many events as I want to, because even a lunch now in Limassol, where I live, a lunch is not possible. The restaurants are closed. So we cannot organize face-to-face meetings. But what we can do together, you and me, we can still facilitate exchange of experience, introduction, but we need to find a clever way, because these online conferences, they are sometimes so boring. And I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. At the beginning, in April, in May, people were enthusiastic. They were saying what we are saying today. Wow, it's a new opportunity, no borders. But then hundreds of conferences, they make you so much tired. You become
I'll
very
give an example, Malta, because Katerina mentioned Malta. So yesterday there was a congress that Eman Pulis organized, the Malta summit about blockchain technology, and before that was gaming. So I was so excited.
I went 2 years ago to
Yeah, I
Bot,
went last year and the year before. Yeah.
and
This
yes,
year I
we
was
follow
like,
them.
yeah. So I was like, oh, I'm so excited. Maybe we meet somehow, some of the people there. But
Yes.
then he really tried his best. He did a very good program and online congress, but you cannot compare. There is a chat room, and I was scrolling through the names. I'm like, which name do I recognize? It's just not the same. But still, you know, what's important.
These niche events, like say, for example, for blockchain, when people, like-minded people gather, they are still better than nothing. The only thing is, of course, what we are looking for is to make them international. So my ambitious aim is, within few months, with such small meetings for 5-6 people, to have to know presidents of business clubs in all European countries. I decided to start with Europe because Cyprus is a part of Europe. It's easier to communicate and to cooperate. And I hope that after today's meeting, we will still keep in touch. I will send you an email, so we will change contacts and so on. Yeah. Because now, for example, if I need to ask something in Malta, I can, contact Katerina, and she will help through Malta Business Network, which is already well established, or on a later stage through her business club. Diana, 1,000 people, impressive, even if in your chapter there are 40. Through these clubs, you have access to this. Ivana is a connection between Austria and Serbia, which is really good. And if we speak about Georg, the importance of Germany in the economic world of, let's say, economics of European Union, it's very hard to underestimate. So just because we know each other, it's already a step, the first one.
Definitely. Yeah.
And then slowly, we cannot force the situation. We cannot change what is happening to us. But what we can do, we can keep in touch and just count on each other. If our members will need something from the countries that we are talking now, I will know whom to contact. And this was my idea. Now I want your feedback. So about today's meeting, in 8 minutes, we will completely finish. So the feedback of 2 minutes each. What do you think about today's initiative, and what you can suggest for the future?
To be honest, I'm really very happy that we are kind of getting to know each other, because of course we all get frustrated at some point. It's like, am I the only one doing this? Is there anyone else that understands what I'm doing? And it's like, oh, I'm not really charging for my contact. This is not what I'm doing, So people have to understand what's the value they get from a business club. First, they have to understand what's a business club. This is why I was targeting the members that were already in the various international organizations that we are part of, which were like hundreds of thousands worldwide. But it's hundreds of thousands of people that are in various organizations, but not only doing business. Now, I was really trying to focus on the ones that only do business. So the reason why we meet is like, because we both want to work. We all want to work. So it's like, doing a successful business means you need to know people, you need to have connections. So you need to have the connections worldwide. And this is why I say, okay, we have the gateway of getting to the various contacts. Actually, even in Germany, I have a friend who owns a business club. Georg, I was a bit, I was checking your profile. I was checking everyone before we met, because I was like, oh, it's interesting that, there are other business clubs. I know the one in German, Daniel Liston, a friend of mine, and I figured that you guys know each other. So like, oh, how small is the world?
As Diana said, the
could be.
That's it.
Yes.
What is his name?
Liston, Daniel Liston. you just, it doesn't matter, but you were on one of the congresses a couple of weeks ago where you got a prize and he got a prize, and I know
yeah, okay, yeah. I get a bigger award, yeah.
You see, the world is really small. It just,
yeah.
no. Sometimes I say, no, the world is not small. We're just too big in it. We're just too open-minded.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so it's important to stay in touch. It's important to update each other, to compare the conditions, you know, because if we all have similar conditions, we can, you know, help each other by, okay, what is the contract that your members sign? What is the contract that my members sign? What are the conditions? What do they get? How many times do we meet? Why not have a partnership? It's also possible, you know, like my club supporting your club or the other clubs, because we're, you know, we can only help each other. We cannot,
sure.
I'm not afraid of sharing what I know, because if you're afraid of sharing, that means you're not original. You're not good enough. If something can be copied, then you're not good enough. So, you know, cooperation.
Thank you, Ivana.
I always say
positive attitude.
Competition. It's a completion.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For this positive attitude and for this message full of energy.
Yeah.
Yes, I was pleased to hear your comment. Diana, Georg, Katerina.
Yes.
I think it would be great to have such meetings, I don't know, some regular, maybe more regularly, like once per month, maybe, or so. Because in this case, we can be the messengers internationally and help members of our organizations to find each other. Because I know that, you know, the same BNI, it's, I don't know if there is a BNI in Cyprus
yes,
or...
Yes. A lot of
right?
groups and chapters. Mm-hmm.
So, but for example, I have never been working with the with countries in the south. We were working in Scandinavia mainly. And I don't have any contacts in there. But for example, when I asked somebody if they would be interested, there were some members of BNI who said, I'm looking for some investment for something like that. I'm interested in this. So in this case, we can just share who is looking for something and maybe exchange it in the email, the contacts, and so that they could work further on these contacts together and help each other. So in this case, it would be beneficial.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I think yes, I agree that the collaboration and the cooperation is the basic in that activities. And on this line, I can propose, because we manage two websites, one that is maltabusiness.it, where we write, after I will write you in the chat, but where we write basically focus, it was focused about Maltese news, about, you know, economy file, so specific file and interview in Italian. But since few months, we started also to write in English this content, opening it to not only to Maltese, you know. And the other one is for the Italian, for Italian companies mainly. It is Imprese del Sud, so Imprese, it's business of the South, in the case of Italy, you know. And they have a lot of followers, both on the social, but also on the website. So they are such as blog that we manage directly with our journalists. And so we can maybe evaluate a section where we can put articles and you know, go in depth from your members that we can propose and share on that website. It can be an opportunity for the members to be viewed, but also for you directly, with an interview, with something that we can arrange, you know.
Yeah, that's very good. An exchange of content, it always helps, because our websites, the club websites, need to have new content to, you know, to be refreshed regularly. Katerina, could you share, please, the address of the website in our chat?
Yes.
And I urge you, Ivana, Diana, Georg, to
yes
everything which is in the chat, because when we will close, it will disappear. What I can see, Georg shared with us his munichdiamonds.com website about the activities he does. Diana shared her LinkedIn profile, so you can connect to each other, not only to me. Now you're connected to me, I have the details, but connect to each other as well. Now Katerina sent also, and Ivana sent also her business club website. Let's save all of them, take a pause, think about, and then we will arrange another meeting after the new year. Let's survive December and Christmas and all the things with more concrete, maybe suggestions and ideas. Everyone can think, just drop emails to each other if you wish. But the pleasure was mine. And Georg, you were starting our meeting, and you have 1 minute now before 4 o'clock to complete it with your comment.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Networking is a key point, yeah, in the world, yeah. And this what we are doing also. I will give one example. As you know, I'm in the electronic company. A lot of people asking how many employees you have, and they guess 10, 20. I say I have more. What do you think in my electronic company? How many people I have, employees I have? Guess.
How many employees for the 800,000 event? Oh, 800 people
more,
event?
More. No, you wouldn't. Some people say 200, 300. I have the whole world beside me. If I convince a customer that I have the good products, he will go to his boss and say, buy by this company. So he's like an employee. I think so. This is also what is so really important, networking. And Ivana, I will also connect you with you the time. Also, everybody can join the business club. So we're really open, yeah. And connection promoting, it's really key point. And just with video conferences, it's really easy to put your name, the company beside the name, and the people see it. Yeah. If I take a video conference, you see George Schmidt, Munich Diamond Business Club, but everybody is looking for it. Yeah. And this is networking, promoting, key point today. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Ivana, Diana, Katerina, and Georg, for accepting this invitation, for spending this 1 hour together. I will switch off the recording now.